Hello, 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 and welcome to LOOT.BET Season 9. We have got a hell of a game today, and I tell you what a group stage to look at. All of these teams looking pretty damn strong to say the least. Josh, we'll go into the introductions, of course. I'm Caster Crab 3. I'm joined by the wonderful M&J. Josh, how do you feel about this one?
I'm feeling good. Obviously, LOOT.BET Season 9. It's been a while since we've covered a LOOT.BET. I think Season 8 was, well, quite some time ago. We've had a big gold gap over the new year and whatnot. We're back, and we're back with some really, really good teams as well. As you say, there's a little bit of a mix when you look at the tiers. Some of the invites, you've got Endpoint in there, and the other end of the spectrum, you've got some emerging teams like Young Ninjas, like Team Fiend. So I think it's quite an exciting mix of sides. Of course, pretty much every team in this have been invited, except for Navi Junior that got through that closed qualifier spot. As we look at today's matchup, there, of course, LDLC versus MADDOG's PACT. Now, I'm not sure where the MADDOGs comes from. I'm not sure if that's a new sponsor or something. I think previously they were Actina PACT. I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
that's quite exciting.
Maybe they're just mad dogs.
MADDOGs, crazy, crazy on the server, bro.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Looking at the statistics, though, not so crazy. I think with only a 36% win rate, they're definitely struggling at the moment. LDLC, at least statistically, are probably going to be clear favourites here. We haven't seen the veto yet, so before we do, Josh, who's your gut kind of leaning towards here?
LDLC.
No, because significantly, or do you think it's going to be kind of 2-1?
I really don't know. PACT have been on a weird one recently. I mean, there would have been a time where this 100% would have been in PACT's favor. Looking at their recent performances, obviously they've had like a few weeks off. We haven't seen any matches over the last sort of 3 weeks. But before that, they lost 2-0 to Isako, 2-0 to Fate, sorry, who haven't been great recently.
Yep.
Since their roster changes, lost to Isako Boars, a big string of losses to Ago, Namiga, Sangul, Anonymo. They did beat LDLC 2-0 when they played them a couple of months ago, which was an interesting one in Premier. So maybe a chance there for them. But in that 2 months, LDLC have been doing really, really well. The interesting result in the midst there for PACT was the fact they were actually able to beat Mouse Sports 16-3 in a best of one on Nuke, which is quite bizarre. And that is the third map we're going to see in this series. So if it comes down to it, then I think that one definitely favors PACT. But map 1 and 2 could very easily go to LDLC.
You're absolutely right, and I think that this veto for PACT, it's not a comfortable one. I think usually when you see you go into your kind of first pick, it's your first map at least will be the map you're comfortable with, the map you want to establish a bit of a lead on, just so your momentum can push you to either a guaranteed third and or maybe a 2-0. For PACT, they go to Vertigo, which is a map which LDLC also bear a bit of teeth on. It's one of their better maps as well, and it kind of makes me think that for PACT, they're going to have to fight long and hard to try and get to Nuke, which is the only map here where I significantly see
in my mind, it's kind of bizarre they haven't picked into Nuke, given the fact that there was the opportunity to. I'm looking at this map pool. I would have 100% anticipated them to pick into Nuke. They've got a 4-win streak on it. They've taken down some decent sides there too. Sangul, Nexus, Mouse Sports, of course, that kind of elephant in the room that I pointed out, and then Isako Boars as well. Before that, another win against Alternate Attacks and a couple of close games against Windstrike. Yeah, I really did think that was going to be their map they'd pick into, but I suppose Vertigo, statistically, it's their second best map. They are fairly strong on it. They've taken some wins against some good teams again. I mean, I don't want to use statistics from too long ago. I feel like they're not massively relevant, but they did beat Sinners back in February 16-14 here on Vertigo, which, given the fact that this is Sinners' home map, and Sinners were like on an absolute tear. Like back in February, that was really where they were doing incredibly well and in that top 25 spot. That's pretty impressive for PACT to be taking a result like that. But other than that, losses against Namiga, Anonymo, Alternate Attacks, kind of a mixed bag here, I think, for Vertigo. So let's see what we get today.
Of course, to get things underway to get this pistol round, we're going to look over to... Sorry, are we knife rounding? I think we're knife rounding
Yeah.
regardless of the pick. That's interesting, isn't it? Well,
Yeah, this is one of those, like, loot bet things.
oh,
Loot bet
we
things.
knife every map.
Yeah, we knife every
That
map,
is,
which is super bizarre, and it
I
means that
guess.
when you play a nuke, you play a train, there's a chance that you actually can play on your CT side on your own map pick, which is pretty nuts.
What I like as well is you have, maybe there's a real place for knife round strats.
Well, yeah,
I've been
then
advocating
they
for these for a
actually
while.
mean something, don't they?
Exactly.
When they're for every map, they really do mean something.
Well, I believe we saw the victory in the knife round went to, I believe it was MADDOG there. So they can decide which one they want to start on. And honestly, if you get the choice, Josh, what side do you want to be on?
Here on Vertigo, I'd still start on the CT side. I know a lot of teams do favor their T side, but no, I would be still starting off on my defense. I think it's just easier to kind of get into a bit of a groove when you're on your defense, especially an early game like this. Get warmed up, then move over to your T side. That's where you need to be hitting those faster shots and kind of just be a little bit more awake. I don't know. Maybe it's just because it's early here in the UK, Kremer.
It is. It is. It's what kind of 800 hours in the morning. You know what the sounds for, Josh?
0 hours sleep. I don't know.
It sounds. Oh my god, it's early. But here we are getting this twisted around. LDLC, they've got Armor 3 members, 2 nades, Flash Molly, and Smoke to assist them for wherever they choose to attack. Over towards PACT, it's going to be a smoking kit, so a bit more armor oriented, so I'm expecting to see a few more aim duels kind of spearheaded by what would be Manice to get things underway. He spots the players swing, he knows for sure there'll be 2 players. He spots the third as well as the swing continues to kind of lead some aggression, but LDLC, regardless of the fact 3 players have shown their presence, they're actually being relatively quiet. They don't want to overextend, they don't want to risk giving away every single member's position, and PACT, they haven't taken the bait yet. They've still got 3 members stacked towards B. This means that Manice, having heard these nades go down towards sandbags, needs to be very careful that actually he might just be executed on, and he's just going to play retake. That he does. He sits back. He maybe looks for a stray kill here or there. Pick up those flashes. There's a quick kill to get things underway. 6 is a full, and now he can just play for time. He's got teammates to join him. There's that kiss over on Lunatic, and as the swings go forward, they continue to just pepper the position of LDLC. They continue to try and swing their way towards the site. They actually go for 1 Lunatic there to shut him down, though. Down to a 2-on-4. And for Lambert now, center site. He's going to have to try and get away, but Sobel on the flank, good for 1. All onto Hadji. And I tell you what, Josh, if he wins this, I'll be amazed. And of course, to get things underway, though, brings out a few shots off the first member, can't quite convert. Continues to go wherever possible. Sobel to finish the job. And for MADDOG, that'll be the first round.
Well, a great round there from MADDOG's PACT there. They get off to a very, very good start. Not only do they take the pistol, but they do so keeping 4 members alive. So a nice sort of statement to make as the underdogs in this series to your opponents. LDLC, they seemed a little shaken up from that one. They did manage to get the bomb plant, though, so they will come into this next with a decent investment. 4 Galils and a scout, but massively lacking on this utility. Everyone's got those helmets except for Maka. That means that those SMGs, that FAMAS, it can't pack the same kind of punch. And Maka, with this scout, trying to get an angle above the top of this smoke, won't be able to spot anything out. Darko, he's managed to get up close. He won't be seen, but he'll be heard with all of that utility. And as he spams away, he falls back without doing any damage.
It's more present. Sometimes the threat of someone being there is scarier than someone actually being there. And for Lambert, that early engagement with Sobol means that Darko is almost obligated to go for a swing towards Hadji. But with his location already suspected, it's down to Suonko to try and finish the job towards stairs. Again, not able to find an initial member, rings out a few shots here or there, but for the most part, LDLC, they've been fairly quiet, just waiting for PACT to take the re-aggression and waiting for PACT to try and even out the man count.
Unless someone's changed their name, I think Suonko definitely a new addition here to the PACT roster. In fact, he is a new addition here to the PACT roster. Is he a stand-in? Okay.
Yep, he's standing instead of Veggie.
Ah, okay. Interesting.
Well, Darko, let's get things underway with Hadji falling. There's the equalizer into a 4-on-4. And low HP on both Darko and Lambert. This round could go either way. Lunatic, I think he spotted the initial player towards mid. Is he suspected towards UT here? No, he's not. Good for 1. He's able to assist Suonko with another kill of his own. It's a back and forth in which PACT are able to dominate. The push towards mid, in theory, it was great. In execution, it collapsed. A complete shutdown on all of them. And for PACT, it's a 2-0 lead.
Another really, really great round for them. They keep 4 players alive, even against a very, very hefty force buy there. They do very well indeed. Now, what will be a full eco here from LDLC? We see a couple of pistols come out. That is it. They won't be able to invest any more than that, as that puts them below $2,000, and they don't want to be reaching into that kind of realm. We did see those LOOT.BET odds pop up momentarily, and they're starting to shape up a little bit.
Yeah, they are relatively in favour of LDLC, or sorry, of PACT, aren't they? And, well, Haji, you seem to disagree with them. Great little kills so well. It's equalised with a Manisto, who's got Lunatic to assist him. Chaos, he'll push his way up from this position on stairs, but the flash is just perfect from Lunatic there. And for both Sixer and Haji, what can they really hope to do from here? Again, last 2 men left standing, they go for the engagement one at a time. Haji, the last man left standing, and I think this should be a quick little dispatchment of him. A bit of damage would be perfect for him, but as he makes a bit of noise, that should really seal the deal for him. Lunatic finishes the job. For PACT, that'll be a 3-0 lead, and for LDLC, this will be a chance for them to hit their full investment. This will be a chance for them to try and turn the tables.
I really do think, unless LDLC start finding something that works in this round or in the next round, I can already call a 3-mapper, because PACT, they're playing really well here on Vertigo. They've got off to a very solid start where they've kind of had these not quite flawless rounds, but they've kept 4 players alive in the opening 3. They're looking really strong here on their own map pick. And the thing is with that is, if they do win their map pick, I don't see a chance in hell that they win Dust 2. LDLC, they've managed to pick into their best map and PACT's worst map at the same time. So you're rocking a 75% win rate against a team that have a 20%. If PACT win this one, I think it really does come down to Nuke. And as we see the nades rain over, they should be aware there's a player in sandbags. It's been smoked off. They still need to be careful, but as Kios takes the first duel, Minis drops, but he needs to be aware of his right-hand side. They're still there. Sobol, how's he going unchecked right now?
You need to remember that smoke, it came from a site, so... Oh no, the flash was perfect! Sobol is able to shut down a member before he's quickly killed, but that smoke, it came from a site, so a lot of the time, if you're on a site, you see that molly go down to sandbags, to fake some presence, if you just chuck a smoke at that molly, it means that whoever attacks up front ramp has to divide their attention through what's essentially 180 degrees kind of span, and to make your life easier to try and defend. That's the theory behind it, and I think LDLC, for a moment, they suspected that it would have been a initial kind of fake for Suonko. If he's able to win this in a 1v3, it would be perfect for PACT. However, LDLC with the element of time are in a perfect spot, but Suonko is making it damn expensive for them. It is so messy by Maka, he's able to finish the job, and with 11 HP standing, that was... Sure, he saves the ult, but that was a hard slog to take, and... Well, for PACT, they are able to keep the money pretty much level at this point.
Well, there we go. Big old whiff from Kios. Somehow the spin around works. A very, very close clutch attempt there from Suonko, but it's foiled by Maka right at the end, and the time as well. I'm not sure if he actually had enough time on that clock if he got the kill to be able to go and defuse that bomb. Of course, you talk about that smoke that goes down on sandbags to try and confuse the opponents. It's something that we see, but it's something that still needs to go checked. Lambert, that is such a ridiculous opening shot. He's fully blinded, and a running shot with a Galil has found that headshot onto Minis. Sobol looking to try and trade it, but without Lambert going for a swing here, it becomes very difficult. A patience game. Who's going to break first? Sobol, he doesn't need to go for the aggressive peek. He could just fall back here. But as the nade hits him, oh, it's going to do a lot of damage.
How in the name of Christ did that initial attack land? For LDLC, they're able to really double down with it as well. A few more kills come in. It's a 4-on-2 in their favour. The PACT saving here is a very viable option because they do not have any money whatsoever. However, for Suonko, you might see how much damage he can do just in this initial attack to see if it's maybe worth fighting for this round. And for LDLC, as they maintain their control, they're being a bit passive with it. I mean, Suonko can go a bit aggressive as he sits towards side, and he's kind of going to tease whether or not he swings into the member of Lambert. He does, unfortunately, it's to his demise. For Lunatic, that should almost guarantee the fact he has to save. And for LDLC, this will be a second now as they start to make up a bit of ground against PACT here.
They absolutely do, yeah. Taking their second round forces PACT onto what will be no money. I mean, no real loss bonus to work with either. That's quite a scary prospect. We could see the scoreline really tie up 3-3. Lunatic saving this M4. Shouldn't be able to have too much impact with it next round. And as you say, Sobol going for that later re-aggression. If he can find himself 2 kills there, maybe even just the round, it comes back into contention. But as soon as he falls, that's it. There's no further chance for it. We will see LDLC carry across 4 weapons as well. Actually, 2 orbs. I'm not sure if they want to hold on to those. We see Hadji throw one away. He's going to swap out to a Galil, which is interesting. Always bizarre to see someone throw away a $5,000 weapon to go for a Galil, but at the end of the day on that T side, you don't want 2 orbs. Makes it very, very difficult to move around with any kind of pace. Here's that headshot again. I mean, that's ridiculous. His crosshair is nowhere near so well. It's just because he's moving. It's a stray bullet that's connected.
That I just feel bad for. Was that Lunatic he killed at the start there? Lunatic. Maybe Manice. I just feel bad for him. As he dies there, it's what can you hope to do? At this point, there's some deity that just wills it. And for PACT, unfortunately, they've got an eco around these weapons. And, well, for Hadji, he's going to try his luck again towards a ramp, just easing his way forward, waiting to see what PACT are able to do. And more importantly, seeing where PACT have positioned this M4. It's a bit of a hybrid boost here. I haven't seen this one before, but as they make a bit of noise setting it up, it may be suspected here.
It doesn't really give them much of a sightline, to be honest. It's a bit of an off angle, I suppose, but that's a really dangerous boost to be playing, especially as quite a common angle to be flashed. On an eco like this, though, it's all about trying to increase that M4's chances of doing damage. Trying to put it into a position where it has got a chance of finding 1, 2 kills. If it can double down, drop a couple of rifles, then you've got a shot at the round. In the meantime, Flashes just going into mid. LDLC holding really passive right now. Definitely don't want to be charged down by pistols. Definitely don't want to walk into a stack. But need to make sure they don't give up too much control in the meantime. Darko got a really good position. And LDLC need to make sure they check it, which they do.
Perfect opening and actually kickstart the full push here, and with 35 seconds left they've definitely run down the clock here. However, they do have the credibility of utility to make their lives easier. Lunatic here reveals where the M4 is, ding down just 2 HP with a kill onto Lambert in exchange, leaves it in a 4-on-4, but in terms of weaponry, LDLC still in the driver's seat of this round. Boosted up, Sobol falls through the smoke. Minis is tagged down, but survives nonetheless, and for LDLC, going for this plant in a 4-on-3, that's the perfect advantage. Kale's covering his teammate beautifully, leaves for Lunatic and Swanko to just save their weapons, sit over towards this beast site, and just await round 7.